parading around with your UCW light heavyweight championship like you're some kind of hero. There ain't no such thing as heroes in this life, Paul.
You boys seen the wrecking crew?
May 27th, Marcus, maybe you take away the only thing that I have left.
May 27th, UCW Live. I'm finally gonna shut you up for good!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to UCW Live. My name is David Gunn. Joining me live at ringside, it's Rusty Blade. And Rusty, what an event we've got coming up tonight.
We certainly do, David. I am looking forward to this immensely. The prospect of the Southern Wrecking Crew demolishing those Southlanders.
And of course, in addition to that, a massive open challenge issued by Paul Sayers, who will be defending the UCW Light Heavyweight Championship.
And quite frankly, I imagine we're going to see his head bouncing from one corner of that ring to another.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's a couple of things I need to address. The first thing is our next show. Our next show is in Nelson on July 29th. It is entitled Bad Company. It's a special show. We will have a 10-man tag team match, elimination style. But for tonight we need to appoint the captains of each team. But take a look for yourself.
And that's why they call me Bad Company. I won't deny. Bad Company till the day I die. Until the day I die. Until the day I die. Until the day I die.
All right, so Bad Company, July 29th in Nelson. For those of you that are here that won't be travelling to Nelson, you can watch it live on our YouTube channel. As you've seen, we are appointing two team captains. The first one is the Powerhouse T-Rex. The second is the hooligan Marcus Kool. So, tonight, both team captains will be choosing their teams. They will be recruiting throughout the night, and by the end of the night, you will know all the members of each team. This brings me to my second point, which is the situation between Paul Sayers and the hooligan Marcus Kool. For those of you who follow us on social media, you will have seen the back and forth between both of them. For those of you who haven't seen it, check it out.
Paul is positive. Paul is pathetic. Paul, let me ask you a question. Were you positive the last time you saw me? And it's funny, because I don't think I've heard from you since, mate. Maybe you've just been too busy. Maybe you've been too busy parading around schools, visiting kids and feeding people lies. Parading around with your UCW light heavyweight championship like you're some kind of hero. Bull, Paul. Bull. There ain't no such thing as heroes in this life, Paul. And on May 27th, UCW Live, I accept your little open challenge. See, I've been reading your little Facebook posts, hiding behind your keyboard, typing away. How you've lost your passion and your drive. Paul, you don't know what passion and drive is, mate. You think you've offered everything you have to New Zealand wrestling? You've never had anything to offer, Paul. And on May 27th, UCW Live, I'm finally gonna shut you up for good! Yeah! I'm gonna kick your head in. I'm gonna proceed to give you the beating of your life. And I'm gonna take that title from you, Paul. You're not a warrior. You're a liar. And I'm gonna prove it.
All right. Who wants to see Paul Sayers versus the hooligan Marcus Kool for the UCW Championship? Well, unfortunately, that's not happening. There's no way that we are going to give you people here a match of that quality. It's not happening. Paul can challenge anybody else, but that match, that's a match for Bad Company and Nelson. That ain't a match for Christchurch. I don't like being interrupted, so...
That's awesome, Matt. Pleased to hear, mate. Hey, I was just backstage checking out my Facebook, because I like doing that. And I heard you say to these fine people of Quake City that tonight you don't want that young warrior Paul Sayers to take on the hooligan Marcus Kool. And I think maybe, Matthew, you're a little bit nuts, because right here in Quake City tonight, I don't care what you say, I don't care what the other board of directors says, I'm going to kick Marcus's head in because these people want to see it.
It doesn't matter what they want to see. It's what's best for business, obviously.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I understand, Matt. I understand what's best for business. I understand that myself versus Marcus could probably sell a whole lot more tickets. I understand that, Matthew. But he was talking about me and my life, and that ain't something I'm flying down to the Garden City to sit back and watch.
So you really want to do this?
Matt, if I have to explain it again, buddy, I don't care what you say. I don't care.
Why are you taking all your clothes off?
Matt, Docherty, I swear on my life, if you don't let me kick his head in tonight. I'm going to be kicking your head in. So give me this match and give it to me tonight here in Quake City.
You really want this?
Oh, I really want this, Matthew. I really want this, Matt. I really want this.
All right. Paul, you should really be careful what you wish for.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the opening contest of the evening, scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, he is a former four-time New Zealand heavyweight champion. He hails from Ponsonby, Auckland, or as he calls it, the #1 city in New Zealand, from a top 10 list that Christchurch can even buy its way onto. Yes, he is Kingi! And his opponent, hailing from Green Lane, Auckland, weighing 107 kilograms, the genetic pitbull, Haydn Daniels!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what an opening contest we have for you tonight at UCW Live. A bit of a grudge match of sorts. Kingi, the former four-time New Zealand heavyweight champion, taking on Haydn Daniels.
And let's not forget that Kingi is also a professional boxer now. Gives him an added edge, I think, over Daniels in this one.
Hard to argue that, Rusty. Of course, though, you only need to look at Haydn Daniels to realise that this man is probably going to have a significant advantage when it comes to strength, when it comes to power.
Yeah, but you know what they say. Big muscles, small brain.
Well, I don't know about that, Rusty. Of course, Kingi originally scheduled to be part of a triple threat to crown the inaugural UCW light heavyweight champion at our first event, UCW Invasion, last February. Was found laid out backstage in an attack that, while Haydn Daniels hasn't officially claimed credit for, he certainly hasn't shied away from the accusation either.
And it was a cowardly action on Daniels' behalf. Just the sort of thing I expect from him.
Well, now Daniels and Kingi getting to settle the score once and for all in this one-on-one matchup.
And I think the big thing for Kingi is that this is about personal pride, and this is about how he stands up in the locker room. You cannot go through a professional wrestling career and allow yourself to be mugged backstage. So he's got to prove a point tonight, and he's got the skills to do it.
Absolutely right. Former 4-time New Zealand heavyweight champion, a very experienced pro, but Haydn Daniels right now taking Kingi to school in that side headlock.
Yeah, certainly early advantage to Daniels.
Oh, and a big shoulder block from Daniels puts Kingi on the canvas.
And that's that power you were talking about, David Dunn. That's the agility of Kingi.
Kingi attempting a hip toss. Haydn Daniels says not today. Delivers one of his own. And Kingi wants no part of Haydn Daniels right now, scurrying to the safety of those ropes.
Well, that's what I mean by the difference in brain size. Kingi's taking a break. He's using his common sense, thinking about his game, backing off, regrouping.
You call it regrouping, I call it running away, Rusty. Kicking out here, stretching out on that security barricade. Meanwhile, referee Danny Soul begins the 10 count.
Look at that physique. Isn't that admirable? He's giving this audience a master class in just how to keep yourself in trim.
You'd think if he needed to warm up, he could have done it before the match.
Then the fans would have missed out, David.
Well, Haydn Daniels is here. He's in the ring. He's ready to go. And Kingi again enters the ring to break the 10 count. And now pacing the outside of the ring, really taking his sweet time getting back in this matchup.
Well, that's what the 10 count's for, David.
Daniels growing increasingly frustrated.
And that's a big part of the strategy. When you're dealing with someone who's got the power advantage, but debatable whether he has much, if any, brain power, this is the way to get him worked up, make him lose his cool.
Haydn Daniels giving chase to Kingi now. He's had enough of waiting around. He came to fight. And Daniels chases Kingi back into the ring, but Kingi cuts him off with a boot to the head.
And that's what I mean about the superior intellect, thinking man's wrestler, Kingi.
And you've got to think, at least on paper, that will be the story of this matchup. The strategy of Kingi, the experience of Kingi as he does his best to keep Haydn Daniels down and mitigate that power advantage that the genetic pit bull will have on his side.
Absolutely, David, absolutely. You don't get to be a 4-time New Zealand heavyweight champion without being one of the sharpest tools in the shed.
Kingi whips Daniels to the corner now.
Yes, some of that boxing ability that he's been learning.
Referee Danny Soul tries to move Kingi out of the corner. A flurry of blows to the midsection. Kingi comes straight back in. Beautiful.
Beautiful indeed. So Daniels isn't the only one with some power.
Very impressive from Kingi again. The big man up and overhead in that T-bone suplex.
The other factor, David, that we need to take into account is that Haydn Daniels has to be a bit worried about Abraxas. If you remember what happened in Christchurch in February.
Exactly right. 3 months ago, Daniels and Abraxas coming to blows before the matchup was thrown out and the referee lost control of the situation.
And Abraxas has been making threats that he intends to finish that score with Daniels at some point in the future.
Well, perhaps Haydn Daniels, if he finds a way to get out of this big back suplex from Kingi. Daniels potentially looking to send a message to Abraxas tonight with his performance.
And that was pretty impressive, I'll admit, that Daniels was able to kick out so quickly there.
And Kingi now looking to slow the pace of the match.
Well, again, this is tactical. As these big men, they don't necessarily have the stamina.
Daniels fights his way back to his feet with the support of the crowd behind him. Big elbow to the breadbasket and another.
And Kingi puts an end to that.
Oh, how's that for a clothesline? And another. Haydn Daniels swinging for the fences with those blows. And a high elevation back body drop in centre ring.
And that was devastating, and Kingi's felt it.
Daniels feeling the momentum shift now. Firing up.
Well, this is where Kingi again needs to use his head. He needs to be thinking.
Oh, Daniels looks for a bicycle kick. Kingi ducks out of the way. Oh! Daniels connects on the second attempt and Kingi is down.
No, we don't.
Oh! Haydn Daniels goes up and over that top rope, blocks a shot from Kingi. Right hand of his own.
This is fast and furious, the momentum changing and changing again.
Oh my goodness! Daniels looking for that jumping bomb angel drop kick at nobody home.
Once again, Kingi just a shade smarter and a shade faster. That was close.
And Kingi right back to the cover. Both legs hooked there, stacking Daniels' weight down on top of his shoulders, forcing him to put everything he has into that kick out.
And that's just wearing the big man down again.
Right. Kingi tosses Daniels out of the ring.
Right onto that hard wooden floor. There's no protective mats out here, David.
And Kingi certainly not afraid to take a count-out victory.
Any victory's a good victory. Keep him away from me. Keep him away, David.
Daniels walking right past us here at the ringside commentary position. Trying to get some feeling back in those legs, back in that body. But Kingi with a big shot to the back. That massive back of Haydn Daniels.
Just makes it a bigger target. And that was precision.
Once again, a cover with a hook of the leg.
Daniels is showing remarkable stamina. I'll give him credit.
And Kingi starting to grow frustrated here, it appears, arguing with the referee.
Well, the referee's got a simple job to do. Count to 3. Let's just make sure that he does it in a timely manner.
I think there's been nothing wrong with referee Danny Souls counting, calling it right down the middle thus far, as Kingi looks to go to work on the middle, the midsection of Haydn Daniels yet again. With those closed fist shots to the rib cage, to the abdomen. Oh, and another exploder. That T-bone suplex flings Daniels across the ring.
And this is it. This must be it.
Once again, Haydn Daniels, the heart of this man, is unquestionable. The genetic pit bull kicks out. He's still in this fight.
And that must be just on instinct. I cannot believe that was devastating, David. Kingi needs to focus on the man in the ring, though.
Can't let these fans get in his head. Well, it looks like he may already have done so. Kingi drags Daniels back to his feet. Oh! Massive scoop slam!
And I could feel the vibration from that underneath this desk. That was phenomenal.
What's Kingi got in mind here out on the ring apron?
And I think he may be going to go up.
Oh, look at that springboard moonsault, but nobody home. Daniels rolls to safety.
And Kingi took just a little bit too much time, gave Daniels the opportunity to recover.
Oh, double clotheslines. Both men are down.
Now this is where stamina becomes important, where resilience becomes important. Which of these men is in the better condition?
Looks as though Daniels starting to stir. Kingi attempting to roll over onto his stomach.
And all these fans stomping and clapping.
Willing these men back to their feet for this matchup to continue. Haydn Daniels the first to his feet. Kingi follows.
Again, look at those lightning fast jabs.
Kingi putting his corporate boxing experience to work in this contest. Whoa! But Haydn Daniels got him up. Oh! Massive over-the-shoulder power slam.
Great kick out by Kingi there. That's what makes him a 4-time champion. The will, the determination to keep on going when a lesser man would have been down and out.
Well, the end could be nigh for Kingi. Haydn Daniels got something in mind. Heading up to the middle rope.
And the 4-time champion looking the wrong way until...
And Daniels connects with a missile drop kick. High risk but high reward for the genetic pitbull.
And he caught him while he was groggy.
Daniels calling for it, and these fans applauding. They want to see it.
They're a bloodthirsty mob, this Christchurch crowd.
And Kingi catches himself on the ropes, shoots through. Daniels! Sit out spinebuster! And he's got him!
That is a huge win.
Haydn Daniels takes out the former 4-time New Zealand heavyweight champion, and what an impressive victory. That massive sit-out spinebuster for the genetic pitbull gets it done here tonight at our opening contest at UCW Live. Well, the lights have gone out here, Rusty. Perhaps a power failure here.
Wouldn't surprise me in Christchurch. Even with my special glasses on, I can't see anything.
Oh my goodness! That's a Abraxas!
Well, I said Daniels would need eyes in the back of his head.
Where did he come from? Where did the Abraxas come from?
There's dark forces at work with this guy.
Daniels attempting an enziguri, taking down Abraxas temporarily.
And now look, he's fleeing the ring.
Oh, wait a minute. Daniels with his hands on a folding chair. Abraxas trying to blindside the genetic pitbull, but right now he might be questioning. And Abraxas rolls out of there before Daniels can swing that chair at his head.
And the crowd rightfully booing. What a poor sport trying to use a weapon.
I think the crowd's booing Abraxas. He's fleeing a confrontation that he started.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't stand around with somebody wielding a weapon at you. Daniels taking the cheap way out there.
Haydn Daniels victorious tonight against Kingi, and now sends Abraxas running, but I don't think this is the last we've seen of the interaction between these two men.
The following is a tag team match scheduled for one fall.
This is the one I've been looking forward to.
Why am I not surprised?
Introducing the first team. Simon Seven, Stan Murdoch, Levi Murdoch, the Southern Wrecking Crew!
And the big dilemma for these gentlemen is which two will take part in the tag team match. You've got Stan, he's got the bulk and the power. Levi's got the speed. Simon's got the cunning.
Well, whichever lineup the Southern Wrecking Crew chooses, certainly not an enviable position.
Opponents. Introducing first.
Who would not want to be standing across the ring from this man? 125 kilograms and not an ounce of fat on him. Pure muscle in the Cargill's hammer.
Yeah, well, let's see him try and outpower, say, Stan Murdoch. Hammer's only got one game. It's a power game, and against the Wrecking Crew, I don't think it's going to be effective.
4, 3, 2, 1. Unleash him. Unleash the beast. T-Rex.
And his tag team partner, weighing 125 kilograms, the powerhouse of the South, T-Rex!
The beast has been unleashed here tonight. T-Rex making his way to the ring for this monumental tag team clash.
And I'll give these guys credit. They are a powerful unit. But both T-Rex and Hammer, they rely on physical power to intimidate opponents. That's not going to be effective against a team like the Wrecking Crew. Because on this occasion, they've run into a team even bigger than them.
Well, we saw these teams come to blows at UCW Invasion back in February. The Southern Wrecking Crew running riot until T-Rex came out, hunted them down and put Simon 7 through a table.
Well, let's tell that story a bit more accurately. Till T-Rex came out and Pearl Harbored them and put Simon 7 through a table.
So you justify the Wrecking Crew's behaviour, do you? That was fine for them to be attacking members of the roster, seemingly at random.
I'm sure there was something that happened backstage, some sort of altercation. Either way, it was between other members of the roster and the crew. Rex had nothing to do with it.
Of course. Well, T-Rex has something to do with it right now as he plants Levi Murdoch down face first on the canvas with that big full Nelson slam variation.
And interesting to see the crew have gone with the two biggest men, Stan and Levi, the brothers. Simon's going to sit this one out from ringside.
Well, after that taste of the table back in February, I don't blame Simon 7 one bit. Trying to stay as far away from this one as he can.
I think it's a smart move by the crew. They're up against guys who think that power is their best weapon. Well, the crew are going to outmuscle and outpower them. And Levi using those long legs. Here's some of the longest legs I've seen in wrestling, and they give him a huge advantage at times.
Well, the powerhouse T-Rex taking the advantage now. Reverses that wrist lock into a hammerlock. It's behind Levi Murdoch. Out of striking distance for those long legs. And although we call him the powerhouse and everyone always thinks about the power game when it comes to T-Rex, do not question the technical wrestling acumen of this man. T-Rex is a graduate of the Storm Wrestling Academy in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Trained under the legendary Lance Storm. So if you want to grapple, T-Rex knows a thing or two about that.
I don't dispute it. Don't dispute it at all. But at the end of the day, it's wins it's the wins that count. And let's see if he can put all that training to effect tonight. Oh, big Stan. He doesn't want to mess with the T-Rex. He wants to deal to the bigger man.
Stan Murdoch getting his wish. Hammer the legal man now. This is going to be a collision of titanic proportion.
Stan a good head higher than Hammer. Huge weight difference as well, I imagine.
Very rare that the Hammer meets a man who's equal when it comes to size.
And there's that power game not doing so well for him tonight.
They collide again in centre ring. Neither man giving an inch.
Well, I'd say the psychological advantage is going increasingly to Stan's favour here.
There we go, a stalemate with those shoulder blocks. Stan Murdoch looking to initiate a test of strength.
Stan's going to have that height advantage as well. All that force coming down on Hammer. Hammer's got to work twice as hard to try and leverage it back up again. Look at the power of Murdoch.
Hammer starting to buckle but fighting his way back. I have never seen a more closely contested test of strength.
And honour's still even, I think. Stan telling him you've got nothing. Oh, look at that. That's sporting of the crew. They're going to go easy on Hammer.
Hammer's certainly not going to go easy on them. I guarantee you that, Rusty.
And look at that lovely comedic touch. Levi's a man with a sense of humour.
They lock up now. And no surprises there. Hammer powers Levi to the canvas.
Well, this is where Levi's got to use those long legs, those long arms. Stan can outmuscle Hammer, but Levi may be less able to do so.
And look at this, clever from Hammer. Backs Murdoch into his own corner.
And that's dangerous territory to be in for Levi.
And powerhouse T-Rex, he's wanted to get his hands on the Wrecking Crew for 3+ months now. And he is wasting no time taking the fight to Levi Murdoch.
And as he was slamming into Levi there, it felt like the ring was actually moving.
T-Rex throws Levi halfway across the ring.
Too early to get the pin there.
T-Rex has got to be careful Levi doesn't make the tag to Stan.
Once again looking to get him back into that corner of their own.
Ring positioning really very important when it comes to tag team wrestling. Oh, big spinebuster. And 125 kilograms of Hammer comes down on top of Levi with that splash.
And that was close.
And you'll notice now, Simon Seven up on the apron, distracting the referee. And Stan Murdoch comes in illegally, might I add.
Well, that's sharp tag team work by the Murdoch brothers. Danny Soul distracted by Simon Seven. But Simon never laid a finger on anyone.
And now look at that, Levi Murdoch makes the tag to Big Stan.
And this time he is the legal man in the ring. Well, we just saw a flagrant double teaming from Hammer and Rex. I think the Murdoch brothers entitled to respond in kind.
T-Rex trying to take a shot at Stan Murdoch. Murdoch moves out of the way and delivers a shot to the head of Hammer.
And to be honest, if Hammer was the best that T-Rex could find in his toolbox, then he hasn't got much in there in Southland. You think all that weight of Stan Murdoch coming down on the shoulders of Hammer?
A bad spot for him to be in, but you'll notice Stan Murdoch closer to Levi Murdoch, leaving Hammer closer to T-Rex. If he can break free and make the tag to the powerhouse, he might be able to turn the tide here. Hammer shoots off the ropes, looking for that shoulder block yet again.
And how many times does Hammer have to keep going to the well and finding out that tactic will not work? Oh my word!
Massive elbow. The Southern Wrecking Crew.
I cannot believe Hammer kicked out of that. That was Stan Murdoch, 6 feet in the air, down on top of him, elbow first. Unbelievable.
And Murdoch wisely, I hate to give him credit, but make sure that hammer is moved away from T-Rex as far as possible before making the tag to Levi.
Again, now they're going to try and keep Hammer in their corner.
Big back elbow in the corner from Levi Murdoch. And another.
And this is payback for earlier in the match when Levi was trapped in the wrong part of town. Now it's Hammer's turn.
Stan Murdoch laying his hands on Hammer. Referee Danny Soul trying to get the wrecking crew to stop the blatant cheating.
Double teaming, not necessarily cheating.
We have legal men for a reason, Rusty.
There's those long legs of Levi at work.
And again, Levi has to get Hammer out of the corner before Danny Soul reaches his 5 count.
I think Danny's doing a pretty reasonable job officiating here.
Certainly doing the best he can with Simon 7 on the outside there.
Simon hasn't laid a finger on anyone.
And you've got to wonder, Rusty, what sort of advantage the Southern Wrecking Crew may have had in being able to prepare for their opponents. T-Rex and Hammer didn't know which 2 members of the crew they'd be wrestling until moments ago, whereas the Wrecking Crew had some time to strategize.
Well, that's one of the inbuilt advantages of them being a threesome.
Massive overhand chop in the corner. Clothesline now as the Murdoch brothers double team Hammer yet again.
Just about took his head off. Hammer is done.
Certainly in a bad way right now, Hammer.
Those were 2 of the biggest clotheslines I have ever seen. And there's a nice little wrestling move from Levi Murdoch, demonstrating he's not just a brawler.
And Hammer now has got to find a way to break free from this half Boston Crab and make his way to the corner of T-Rex. If he can tag in his mentor, his teacher, the powerhouse, this team might still stand a chance here.
Well, I think if Hammer had any sense in that thick skull of his, he would be tapping out. Maybe he's too stupid to give up.
Oh, look at that. You talk about Simon 7 not laying hands on anyone. What do you call that, Rusty?
All I saw there was T-Rex getting distracted and chasing Simon around the ring.
T-Rex getting dragged off the apron by Simon 7 because he knew that Hammer was seconds away from making the tag and changing the complex of this matchup.
If the referee didn't see it, it never happened.
And that is the disadvantage that T-Rex and Hammer are up against. Officially 2-on-2, but unofficially a 3-on-2 scenario. With Simon 7, the third man out there, proving to be the difference maker several times already this evening. Oh, and Hammer! Modified spear tackle floors Levi Murdoch, and this could be the chance he needs.
Well, he needs to make the tag, and he's heading in the wrong direction at the moment. Clearly doesn't quite know where he is.
Levi Murdoch also calling towards his corner. Can Hammer do it? He's reaching out. T-Rex is right there and ready for the tag. The tag is made on both sides. Oh! T-Rex floors the Murdochs with a series of clotheslines.
That was extraordinary. And that's the ferocity of this man.
T-Rex showing everybody why he's at the absolute top of the food chain here.
And he's going to try and suplex him. I think it's a bridge too far. He can get him off the ground.
Oh, wait a minute. Hammer's in as well. If T-Rex can't do it on his own. Massive suplex. Look at the bounce in the ring from that one.
And what was that about flagrant double teaming, David Dunn?
Well, either way, Levi Murdoch breaks up the count, so I guess we're even as Simon 7 goes to work on Hammer on the outside.
And this one has been an absolute brawl.
7 up on the ring apron.
Once again, just talking to Danny Soul, giving him some advice.
He's stolen his glasses.
I think he's going to clean them for him.
Oh, look at that. Levi Murdoch with a low blow to T-Rex. Referee Danny Soul nowhere near it.
Simon has very graciously returned his glasses.
Simon 7 has bent the rules of this matchup yet again.
And that big choke slam. 7 feet in the air.
Oh!
Great win by the Wrecking Crew.
The Southern Wrecking Crew victorious here, thanks to that low blow. Referee Daddy Soul couldn't see it because Simon 7 had quite literally stolen his glasses. And Stan and Levi bending the rules, going downstairs before that massive choke slam gets them what, in my opinion, is certainly a tainted victory here tonight.
Well, Bomb City started it when they did the double team suplex on Stan Murdoch. They were going to double team. The Wrecking Crew were going to return the favour. On this occasion, the Wrecking Crew with the Meteor and Powerhouse T-Rex has been made extinct.
Boys, I need the biggest, I need the baddest wrestlers in UCW. I need them in July. I need them in Nelson. I need you on my side. You! I need you on my side! Alright, boys, alright? Are we in? Are we in? Are we gonna take these blokes, eh? Are we gonna take them? Come on. Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Well, that looks like a very formidable team being assembled backstage, David Gunn.
Is a 4-person elimination match, with the winner becoming the #1 contender for the UCW Light Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, fresh from the crossroads, the Devil's Advocate, T-Cole.
Well, as we just saw, T-Cole joining forces with Marcus Kool for that big Survivor Series style matchup at UCW Bad Company. But right now, T-Cole looking to put himself in contention for the UCW Light Heavyweight Championship.
And I've been much impressed with the change of attitude and the change of approach of this man over the last few months. I think for a long time he seemed kind of directionless, a bit lost in the roster. He's found real focus now.
Hailing from Nelson, the king of sax style, Brook Duncan!
Brook Duncan, of course, involved in that triple threat ladder match to crown the first ever UCW Light Heavyweight Champion back at UCW Invasion. Tonight he looks to get back in title contention by becoming #1 contender and earning a championship match at UCW Bad Company in his hometown of Nelson.
Are you really trying to tell me that he's a light heavyweight? He looks like one of those computer nerds who's been sitting in his parents' basement for the last 6 months eating pizza and playing Candy Crush. Actually, he probably ate the candy as well.
Hailing from the Hunt Valley, Rufguts, Roddy,
Rufguts Roddy Gunn came up short against the shooter, Shane Sinclair, in a first-round matchup in the UCW Heavyweight Championship tournament. Now Rufguts looks to turn his sights to the light heavyweight division as he chases down yet another championship.
And here's a rare occasion, David, when you and I might agree. I'd say that was probably the match of the night.
You're not wrong, Rusty, you're not wrong. Incredible contest at UCW Invasion.
Looks like Rufguts has a very special fan.
And the final competitor, Christchurch's own Hustler!
The incredibly popular Hustler making his UCW debut tonight in pursuit of that light heavyweight championship. And what a win it would be for him to overcome these three men in his first outing here in Ultimate Championship Wrestling and go on to challenge the winner of Paul Sayers versus Marcus Kool for the UCW light heavyweight title.
Well, tell me this, David. If Hustler is such a great gambler and hustler, why does he dress so poorly? The man looks like he sleeps under a bridge.
Well, that's a matter of opinion, a matter of personal taste.
Something he has clearly got none of. Talking of taste, we could talk about Brook Duncan again.
I'd rather not hear your opinions on Brook Duncan, thank you very much. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, this matchup contested under elimination rules. Whether they be by pinfall, submission, or however the fall occurs, we will see 3 eliminations take place, which means there's really no doubt as to who the victor is, but they will have earned this opportunity at the UCW Light Heavyweight Championship.
So what you're telling me is this really is every man for himself?
Absolutely. No alliances here. Not with that shot at the title. Our marquee event, UCW Bad Company, coming up in Nelson on the line.
And I'll tell you the truth, my favourite here has to be Rufguts Roddy Gunn.
Why is that, Rusty?
The man has won more championships than the rest of the people in the ring combined. Quite possibly more championships than the rest of the roster this evening combined. He has the experience.
How's that? A bit of do-si-do action. Brook Duncan and Hustler.
And I certainly wouldn't have expected to see Brook Duncan dancing. You could hardly describe him as light on his feet.
Brook Duncan right up there at the weight limit for our light heavyweight division at UCW.
And pretty much all of it appears to be wrapped around his middle.
Well, if Brook Duncan's victorious here tonight, he will have until Bad Company to shed those extra pounds and make sure he's fighting at championship weight. Oh, but for right now, the size of Brook Duncan giving him an advantage. Leaps off the apron and takes out 2 men with that modified cannonball.
Altogether too close to me for comfort.
Brook Duncan and Kool fighting it out here right next to us at the ringside position. Keep your eye on Hustler, though. Hustler launches himself over the top rope, takes out both men.
Now let's not forget that man came back from a shoulder injury not too long ago. That really was something of a suicide dive, I think.
Hustler flying high here tonight.
Oh, surely not.
And Rufguts Roddy Gunn not giving these fans what they want to see.
Well, I think it was a bit too clear that they knew he was coming.
Oh, look at that, a rare example of teamwork. Rufguts and Kool working together, if only for a second.
Who would we have recorded the pinfall to, though?
I'm not sure it matters. The only thing that we come down to really is that Hustler would have been eliminated and we'd be down to 3 men. big back elbow from Rufguts.
And Hustler trying to use the speed advantage there against Rufguts.
Swatted to the canvas.
The other thing in Roddy Gunn's favour, of course, is he's wrestled an awful lot of these multi-way matches.
Absolutely, one of the most experienced men in New Zealand wrestling, so certainly in this matchup.
Oh, we've finally found a use for that stringy substance on top of Hustler's head.
Well, Rufguts has got to be careful he doesn't get himself disqualified. That would be a terrible shame to see the UCW Light Heavyweight Championship opportunity slip through his fingers for something as silly as deliberately breaking the rules and pulling Hustler's hair.
Well, as long as he doesn't do it for longer than the 5 count, he'll be fine.
And Hustler, he seems to be fired up by that hair pull. He's fighting back, but now Rufguts, Roddy Gunn, using that sumo styling. Of course, little known fact about Rufguts, he represented New Zealand in sumo wrestling at the World Combat Games in Beijing, China, back in 2008, and he is putting those skills to use here tonight.
And just another reason why Rufguts has to be the favourite in this match. So many strings to his bow.
Oh, big cannonball in the corner to Hustler.
Beautifully done. This is the opportunity, I would have thought, to try and get the pinfall.
Judo style takeover. Takes Tico to the canvas. Rufguts, Roddy Gunn. He's chewing gum. Oh, that is disgusting.
Well, I think obviously he was brought up to share.
Such bad hygiene from Rufguts, Roddy Gunn. Oh no. Hustler about to suffer that same fate. Oh, Rufguts, Roddy Gunn force feeding him.
And so many times we talk about wrestling being very individualistic and wrestlers being selfish. Roddy Gunn on this occasion choosing to share with his opponents.
I feel sick.
If you're lucky, David, he might spit it out and throw it in our direction.
Oh, and Brook Duncan now looking to give Rufguts a taste, literally, of his own medicine, as it were. Forcing that gum back towards Rufguts' mouth. Rufguts bridges in an attempt to get away. And a kick to the back of the head saves Rufguts' Roddy Gunn.
Well, to be fair, Roddy had already chewed it, so it was someone else's turn.
And Brook Duncan getting a taste now.
Well, to be honest, I'm surprised Brook Duncan didn't swallow. He swallows everything else, it would appear.
Who is this man? Rufguts, Roddy Gunn. I'm speechless. And Rufguts, Roddy Gunn gets the taste and the gum knocked out of his mouth. 3-on-1 assault. And now once again it's every man for himself as Brook Duncan shoots in with a running knee to Tico in the corner.
This is got to be an incredibly difficult exercise for Danny Soul to adjudicate.
Danny Soul doing his best to stay out of the way. And Brook Duncan connects with the sax factor.
This is his opportunity. If he could pin Roddy Gunn now, it would make a huge difference to this match.
Duncan and Hustler come face to face now.
Well, I can't help but feel that was an error in Duncan's part.
The two fan favourites go hold for hold, blow for blow, strike for strike.
He had the opportunity to pin Roddy Gunn, he didn't take it. Turning into quite the brawl over there. Clearly friendship stands for nothing in a match like this.
And Hustler now in no man's land up on that top rope.
Perhaps setting him up for the superplex.
Keep your eye on Tico. Heading up. Looks like he's decided to join forces with Brook Duncan for the common good. Rufguts, Roddy Gunn.
Take a look at the power. No.
Gunn really going out of his way not to give these fans what they want to see.
Well, I think he's trying not to telegraph to his opponents either, so trying to be unpredictable.
Hustler didn't see any of those shots coming. You might be right, Rusty. Oh, watch out. Brook Duncan has T-Cole up and Rufguts has Hustler. Stereo power bombs.
We could have seen two men eliminated simultaneously. That was so close.
But both men, T-Cole and Hustler, able to kick out. And now Rufguts and Brook Duncan go to war. Brook Duncan's got him in position.
No, Rufguts too clever for that one.
Oh, Samoan drop. Rufguts breaks free of that sax drive Brook Duncan was looking for. Oh, but look at this, whether it was intentional or not. Brook Duncan able to roll out of the ring, meaning he won't be being pinned here for the moment.
Rolled out of the ring like a sausage rolling off a barbecue.
And now Rufguts, Roddy Gunn sends Hustler out with Duncan, focuses his attention in on T-Cole.
Well, this is the opportunity for one of these two men. They've got the ring to themselves. Someone needs to look for a quick pin or submission.
Oh, Rufguts sinking in that triangle, head and arm triangle there. Rufguts, Roddy Gunn now bends back the fingers of Brook Duncan. Oh, and Hustler sinks in a head and arm triangle of his own.
And again, we could have multiple submissions simultaneously.
Brook Duncan got his hands on T-Cole. What's he got in mind? Brook Duncan with the Boston Crab takes all three men over. Hustler and Rufguts break free, but now T-Cole still in very real danger for that submission hold. Oh, wow, look at this.
Now, what do you call that, David? You've got encyclopedic knowledge of wrestling holds.
I guess you'd call it an elevated Boston Crab, but not elevated in the traditional sense. T-Cole being lifted off the mat there.
I just call it painful. T-Cole momentarily
looking for a sunset flip. Oh, triple team on Brook Duncan. Rufguts jackknife cover. T-Cole kicks out at two. Hustler now. 2 count yet again.
Now this is so fast and furious, I can barely keep up.
Oh! Talk about a roaring knee. Brook Duncan might have knocked a tooth out of Hustler's mouth with that one.
And the gambler looks like he has taken a vicious shot there. But still fighting back. Unbelievable.
Absolutely. These men giving it their all here tonight. And it just goes to show you what this prize means to them. A chance to have a match for the UCW Light Heavyweight Championship. So important to these four competitors who are really giving it their all as Brook Duncan sets up the Hustler, looking for that sax drive. Oh, Hustler rotates over the top, catches him with the code breaker.
Incredible athleticism by Hustler there. If he could win this, it would be his first opportunity for a championship shot. He's never won a title before.
And what an emphatic victory it would be for Hustler, who signals now he's looking to head up to the top rope.
Now this is dangerous territory when you've got three opponents. He only needs one of them to do exactly that.
Rufguts, Roddy Gunn taking the fight to Hustler, taking the words right out of your mouth, Rusty, essentially. And Guts on the second rope. Got Hustler up with that fireman's carry. Duncan and T-Cole, oh my goodness! Oh wow! Rufguts coming down with Hustler and that Samoan drop, but T-Cole and Brook Duncan bring Rufguts down on what looked like a stereo electric chair.
Here's Cole's opportunity. And he takes it.
Hustler has been eliminated.
Well, Hustler's dream of the UCW Light Heavyweight Championship will have to wait for another occasion. Kool picks up the first elimination here, and now we are down to 3.
And he walks straight into Rufguts' Roddy Gunn.
And that massive rough driver.
And just like that, we're down to 2.
has been eliminated.
Well, that leaves the 2 most experienced campaigners in the ring.
But how much do these men have left? We have seen a sensational contest thus far. Hard hitting. And now Rufguts and Brook Duncan have to regroup, have to strategize for what is essentially a singles contest now.
And ironically, they are the 2 least light heavyweight-like individuals in the contest.
Which really means that it's certainly in their best interest to get things done quickly. Now, it looks like they know that. Firing away with hard right-hand shots. Rufguts backs Brook Duncan into the corner. Brook Duncan fighting his way back. Frantic there with those right hands.
Also means that somebody's going to be going on a crash diet, I imagine, immediately after this show.
Oh, Rufguts Roddy Gunn gets his boot up super high right to the face of Brook Duncan.
Duncan doesn't know where he is at the moment.
He's out on his feet, heading towards Rufguts Roddy Gunn. Oh! Catches him on the middle rope. And that electric chair position yet again.
Dangerous position for Roddy Gunn to be in.
Oh, wow, nasty tumble there. Brook Duncan out of the ring, clutching at his knee.
And he could have dislocated it. He could have shattered a kneecap. He could be in serious difficulty here.
Oh, Rufguts Roddy Gunn, roundhouse kick. Brook Duncan may be out.
Now this is Rufguts' opportunity, but he doesn't want to squander it. He needs to get back in the ring and get that pinfall.
And Rufguts Roddy Gunn may be wasting too much time here. Brook Duncan looks glassy-eyed in the ring.
Trying to share that gum once again.
And now Brook Duncan is prone in centre ring as Rufguts Roddy Gunn heads up top yet again.
If he hits this, it is over, David Dunn.
But if he doesn't, it could be absolutely devastating. As Brook Duncan fires away with a series of right hands at Rufguts Roddy Gunn on that top rope. And this is a dangerous, dangerous position for both of these men.
Now, is he looking for the superplex here?
It's hard to say as Duncan heads all the way up top. Oh my goodness!
12 feet in the air. Oh my God.
The impact, the devastating impact. Brook Duncan desperately trying to roll towards Rufguts Roddy Gunn.
Well, at least Duncan has that extra cushioning around him to protect him.
And I hate to say it, Rusty, but both of these men could be out. We could be on track for a draw here.
In which case, no number 1 contender. These 2 men have put themselves through the ringer. It's been an unbelievable match so far.
And what more do these 2 have to give?
Well, neither man seems able to get completely to their feet.
But neither man seems willing to back down as they exchange shots yet again. Oh, Rufguts Roddy Gunn with a headbutt.
Now that's what I call a thinking man's wrestler using his head. Rough driver coming up.
If he hits this, it's over. But Brook Duncan slips into position for the sack strike.
And a counter by Roddy Gunn. Back into it again. No.
Rufguts knows how devastating that move can be, but Brook Duncan ducks the clothesline. Is this it? Can he connect? Drills him to the mat with the sack stripe. He's done it!
Your winner and new number 1 contender for the UCW Light Heavyweight Championship, Brook Duncan.
Brook Duncan has secured himself a date with Destiny, July 29, UCW Bad Company in Nelson. Brook Duncan is heading home for the match of his life, a shot at the UCW Light Heavyweight Champion, whoever that may be.
Well, He got lucky, and he's going to have to go on the mother of all crash diets to get down to light heavyweight weight for July 29. I'm not. He's goddamn overweight. You tell these people. He ain't 99 kilos. He ain't 99 kilos. He's overweight. He's overweight. You tell him. He's overweight.
Well, Rufguts Roddy Gunn beside himself. And Brook Duncan may not be 99 kilograms, but the fact of the matter is Brook Duncan is number one, the number one contender to the UCW Light Heavyweight Championship.
Well, there's no disputing. He won the match. He won an exceptional match. But Rufguts is absolutely correct. Brook Duncan is going to have to lose a lot of weight to make it a legitimate contest on July 29.
The following is a women's division match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, the diva of all divas, Tabitha! And her opponent, from hell, she is an 18-year veteran and the current Hughes Academy Women's Champion, J.E.E. Just Plain Evil.
Now that's what I call a real woman.
Get in here, so when I'm ready, you can take it back. Hurry up. Shut your hole!
I think McCleary's enjoying this.
So, at the last UCW show, we were on the same team, me and Tabitha. But, shut up! You shut up! Come and make me, little kid. Shut up. So the only reason we were on the same team was so that at least someone with some kind of talent could defend the honour of New Zealand female professional wrestling. And it sure as hell can't be Tabitha, who wrestled about one time a year. Excuse me? Do you know who I am? Honestly, you people need to Google me and show me some respect. Just plain evil. Google me right now. So that's the only reason that we were teammates, so that at least one of us could defend the honour against those Australians. And it couldn't have been you. You know why? Because you need to crawl back into that part-time hole you crawled out of.
JPE blindsiding Tabitha here. This contest not officially underway. Referee Danny Soul trying to separate them.
Danny Soul with the best seat in the house for the moment there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a matchup that has been a long time in the making, believe it or not. Both of these women, Tabitha and JPE, just plain evil, broke into the business together some 17 plus years ago. They first wrestled each other, if you can believe this, at a music festival called the Big Day Out 2000. The headlining act that year was the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And just to help you get some scale on that, the UCW light heavyweight champion Paul Sayers, who will be defending his title later tonight, he was just 6 years old when these two had their first match, Rusty.
Well, I think I might actually have been at that Big Day Out. And certainly, yes, these two have been around for a long time. One of them's been wrestling, the other one, well, Shortland Street, if you can call that acting, I suppose.
And of course, we heard JPE say moments ago, she felt that she had to defend the honour of New Zealand wrestling, did not trust Tabitha to get the job done against the team of Savannah Summers and Quinn Beauregard back at UCW Invasion.
And as I recall, Tabitha was in an awful lot of trouble until JPE came out to assist her.
Well, when you're in a team, both members have to take credit for the win or for the defeat, however it may be. You can't sell Tabitha short. She was part of the winning combination at UCW Invasion.
Well, I agree, both have to take some credit, but one might take more credit than the other.
And that is certainly the issue that JPE has. She feels she has not been given enough credit, both for that matchup and indeed for her contributions to New Zealand women's wrestling over the past 17, 18 years.
And I'd have to say there are some very disrespectful children in this audience who made some very unfortunate comments while JPE was trying to talk. Quite disgraceful, really.
Well, when JPE wants to address an audience like that, it's no surprise, Rusty. And then you look at Tabitha, someone who's just so likeable, it's not hard to see why the fans get behind her.
Well, I don't know how likeable Tabitha is. I mean, let's face it, where's Ken? Did he ditch her because she's not 100% plastic?
Tabitha right now got JPE tied up in all manner of knots.
I mean, Tabitha is really the equivalent of New Zealand professional wrestling's Barbie doll, isn't she? We've heard all about how she puts on her mascara and she does her nails. We've heard all about her fake boobs.
Well, that may be, but do not sell Tabitha short, holding her own against just plain evil here.
So far.
Spins behind. Leaps over, leapfrog, under the legs now. And she's got JPE flustered here. Rolls through and JPE rolls out of the ring.
And just plain evil knew exactly where she was. She made sure she was close to the ropes and she got out of that ring to regroup. That's what 18 years of professional wrestling teaches you.
Well, Tabitha, she's still in the ring. She's ready to go here.
Yeah, Tabitha's doing what she does best, which is stand around looking glamorous. She might even be able to talk if the scriptwriters give her some words to say.
Oh! Tabitha knocks just plain evil down with a leg lariat.
And okay, credit where credit's due. That wasn't a bad move, but once again, JPE just regrouping, chatting to the fans.
And Tabitha certainly showcasing her skills thus far. Just because she's also an actor, also a star of the silver screen, as it were, doesn't mean she can't be a competent professional wrestler.
Since when does being on Shortland Street make you a star of the silver screen?
And JPE now, just plain evil, going to work using that ring apron to help her out.
I mean, I appeared in a secondary school play. Does that make me a Shakespearean actor?
No, it does not.
I was rather good then. And now we see JPE in control.
Just plain evil, the reigning Hughes Academy Women's Champion. She's cleaned out that division up there in Auckland, looking to do the same and establish herself as the face of the women's division here in UCW.
And I would say she has all the credentials in the world to do it. And once again, what ingrates in the audience.
Oh, look at this now. Just plain evil using that middle rope, choking Tabitha.
Well, it's absolutely fine as long as you break before the 5 count. JPE perhaps having to explain that to Danny Soul.
Well, legal or not, it's certainly not good sportsmanship.
Win if you can, lose if you must. Always cheat.
Why am I not surprised that that's a mantra that you believe in, Rusty? Clubbing blow to the back now from Just Plain Evil. And another.
She has the power. Big knee there.
But you've got to wonder about this strategy. Just Plain Evil taking a lot of time here to showboat to this crowd. She knows she hasn't got many fans out here and she's proud of it.
Well, Just Plain Evil wrestles to win. She doesn't care about what anybody in the audience thinks. She doesn't care about what you or I think. All that matters to her is getting that win. And she's well on the way to doing it.
Tabitha certainly starting to look the worse for wear here. Well, you're never going to be able to pin her like that.
No, but it's a psychological edge that she may be looking for at the moment. And also, I think, a little bit of humiliation.
Tabitha fighting her way out of this. JPE took her eye off the ball for a second. Tabitha able to rally back.
Only a momentary aberration.
That power advantage you spoke of, Rusty, certainly hard to overcome. And of course the experience. While both these women did wrestle 17 years ago, JPE has been constantly in the ring, whereas Tabitha, as you mentioned, stepped away for a while. She does not have that same level of experience when it comes to big matches.
And quite frankly, there isn't a woman in wrestling in New Zealand who does. Which is what makes the response of the fans here even more inexplicable. They just do not appreciate what they are seeing.
Watch out now, Tabitha heading up top. Oh! Using her speed to catch JPE off guard. Hair grab, takedown, both women down.
Stunning move. It would be a shame to see this one end up as a draw if neither of these two can get themselves back up.
Tabitha needs to find a way to get back to her feet and continue that fast-paced offense. She can outrun JPE in there. She is the faster, quicker woman, and she needs to stay on top of her with that almost high-flying offense.
Well, absolutely, that's the right tactics for her. By contrast, JPE needs to slow her down, wear her down, poke her in the eyes.
Oh, that is typical Just Plain Evil, living up to her name. And drops Tabitha to the mat with the face of evil.
Say goodnight. That's what 18 years worth of wrestling experience will get you.
A tainted victory. JPE with a blatant poke to the eyes. Referee Danny Soul just that little bit out of position to catch it. And then JPE follows up with the face of evil, scoring herself a victory here tonight, but somewhat of a hollow one. Cheating to defeat her former tag team partner.
Well, I don't know about a hollow victory. There's a big W in the record book beside her name, and that's all that counts.
Well, T-Rex rubbing shoulders with some of UCW's finest there, recruiting his team for Bad Company.
Well, they're going to have their work cut out for them against the Hooligans team. I saw the Hooligan had the Southern Wrecking Crew, Kool, Abraxas. That's a formidable lineup.
With T-Rex drawing on Hammer, Hustler, just to name a few. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like it's time for the contract signing for the UCW Heavyweight Championship match at UCW Bad Company.
Finally, we're going to see a table and chairs put to the use they're intended for. Now, David Dunn, you've been around wrestling a long time. These two men, who are you picking?
Well, I don't want you to put me on the spot like that, Rusty. Both had very impressive performances in their qualifying matches at UCW Invasion. I'm going to stay silent.
All right, so now it's the time where we bring out the two competitors that will compete at Bad Company in Nelson for the UCW Heavyweight Championship. At our last show in February, both Kingston, Eclipse and Shane Sinclair won their matches, giving both of them the right to challenge for the new title. At this time, I'd like to bring out one of the competitors. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kingston Eclipse.
There he is, the native one, Kingston Eclipse. A man who put away one of the most experienced wrestlers in all of New Zealand professional wrestling, Vinnie Dunn, with a vicious burning hammer back at UCW Invasion to qualify for this UCW Heavyweight Championship match. He makes his way to the ring, ready to sign the contract and make it official come July 29th.
From what I can see, David Dunn, though, an even bigger challenge for him is going to be what's he actually going to scratch onto that contract form? He's what you'd describe as primal, I guess.
Is what I would describe as effective.
Well, no question about that. He's certainly earned his spot in the final.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the other number one contender for the UCW Heavyweight Championship, shooter Shane Sinclair.
The shooter, Shane Sinclair, went to war with Rufguts, Roddy, Gunn in what many would consider perhaps to be the match of the night at UCW Invasion. He was able to walk away with the win thanks to a heel hook submission. And now he heads to the ring to sign that contract for a date with Destiny for the UCW Heavyweight Championship match, July 29th at Bad Company.
Sinclair is undoubtedly a class act, no question about it. I presume he will have checked to make sure no animal products were used in any of the furniture that he's going to be sitting on or in the production of his biro.
Sinclair, of course, a vegan, a plant-built powerhouse, soy-powered Superman.
Right, fellas, grab a seat. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what it's all about. The contract for the UCW Heavyweight Championship. This match will take place at our next show in Nelson. Fellas, all we need is a signature.
Kingston, before I sign this, I just want to let you know, man, that I have a lot of respect for you. I respect you as a man, and I respect you as an athlete. I got a lot of respect for you, man. We got a lot in common. We're both loving fathers outside of this ring, and we're both fierce competitors inside of this ring. So I have to let you know that if you sign this contract and you meet me in the middle of this ring in Nelson at Bad Company to go one-on-one for the UCW Heavyweight Championship, the second that bell rings, you are mine. And all the respect in the world will not save you from me. See, I've been watching your career with interest. I've watched a lot of your matches, man. I know exactly what you bring to a title match. You're a big, strong island boy with a hell of a lot of heart and fists like sledgehammers. Over the years, I've seen a dozen guys just like you. And over the years, I have beaten a dozen guys just like you. See, I know what you bring. And I know you, and I know that you have never stepped foot into the ring with a talent of the caliber that I bring. So you love strong style. You like to strike. I will gladly stand in the middle of this ring with a smile on my face and go toe-to-toe with anybody in this country and more than hold my own. You want to talk about grappling? You are now looking at the single greatest pure wrestler this country has ever produced. I'm a multiple national and Oceania amateur wrestling champion. I've trained with Olympic gold medalists and world champions. Google it. You know what I think? What I think about you? I think you're a fraud. I think you're a fake. You talk about being the bravest of the brave and how you fear no man, and yet you paint your face and you put in your contact lenses to try and make yourself look more intimidating, because I think deep down you know that your in-ring game just isn't quite up to scratch. Well, buddy, you sure as hell better fear Shane Sinclair, because I let my in-ring game speak for itself. At Bad Company in Nelson, I intend to send a statement, not just to you, but to the entire New Zealand wrestling scene, that the era of Shane Sinclair is just beginning.
Very passionate words from the shooter. Kingston.
Yeah, that was alright, eh? Jeez. Man. Say, you know Shane. Shane Sinclair. Shane the Shooter Sinclair, right? See, look, I understand and I believe without a doubt that you do have that cultural, traditional mana, that fighting spirit, like, deep within you. Like, yeah, I understand that, bruv. I understand that you are a collegiate wrestler, right? And that you fought and competed all around Oceania and all that. I understand, bruv. I understand. But I have fought and beaten everybody in New Zealand, everybody in Australia, everybody in Japan. Yeah, you can Google it. You see, Shane, the stars have aligned and our paths have crossed for this fateful night, All right. All I'm gonna say to you, Mr. Shooter, is are you brave enough? Or are you just shooting blanks?
We both got kids, you know that ain't true.
We have a signed contract. So the match for Bad Company is going ahead. It is Shooter Shane Sinclair versus Kingston Eclipse for the UCW Heavyweight Champion. Fellas, let's get a photo. It's a historic moment.
Oh, Rusty! We could have a match on our hands right here.
The match is official for July 29th, UCW Bad Company, but we are getting a taste of things right now. Security getting in there to try and separate these two.
Those are two big egos.
Two of the absolute best New Zealand professional wrestling has to offer. And they are fired up right now at the prospect of becoming the UCW Heavyweight Champion. Sinclair breaks free from the security. We've got a fight on our hands.
Well, if this is just a taster of what to expect on July 29, count me in, I will be there. They are going at it like wildfire.
Both of these men desperate to lay hands on one another.
Get him out of here! Stay! Get out of here! Get out of my ring! Get out of my ring, bro! And that's why they call me Bad Company. I won't deny. Bad Company till the day I die. Until 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 the day I die.
Christchurch, have you had a good time so far tonight? Are you ready for your main event? Oh, come on, Christchurch. You guys ready for your main event? The following is for the UCW Light Heavyweight Championship.
Come on, everyone, sing along. England.
Well, it looks to me like you're the only one taking part of this karaoke contest here tonight, Rusty. Marcus Kool, the English hooligan, certainly has not endeared himself to the fans here at Christchurch, especially after that super kick we saw at the top of the night, blindsiding the UCW light heavyweight champion Paul Sayers en route to this championship opportunity.
And what a great way to start the evening it was, and I'm hoping we're going to see it again as a great way to end the evening. You know what I like about that piece of music?
What?
It's infectious and it's simple. Just like the kind of women who date Paul Sayers.
Well, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the man of the hour, UCW light heavyweight champion Paul Sayers. And he is making a beeline for Marcus Kool after Kool's actions earlier this evening.
Certainly no love lost between these two. The hooligan, I think, has very effectively got inside Paul Sayers' head. He's got him rattled.
You're a liar, Paul! I ain't no liar! You're a liar, mate! You're a liar! You're a liar to all these people! You've got nothing! Nothing! I have everything, Marcus! You have nothing!
Alright guys, easy. Save it for the match. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event for the UCW Light Heavyweight Championship. You've got nothing, mate! You've got nothing! I'm gonna kick you off, mate!
I hope Danny Sell's getting paid danger money for this one.
You're a loser, mate! You're a loser just like the All Blacks are going to be losers in the British Lions!
You've got to admire his optimism too.
What's it called, mate? You shut him up! Shut him up!
Introducing first, the challenger. On my right, hailing from Birmingham, England, weighing 85 kilograms, the hooligan, Marcus Kool.
Take that from you, mate!
And his opponent, hailing from the Hood Country Club, weighing 85 kilograms, he is the reigning, defending UCW Light Heavyweight Champion, that young warrior, Paul Sayers!
All right, gentlemen, this is a championship fight. Please follow my instructions at all time. Keep it clean. Go back to your corners, unless you want to touch gloves now. Touch hands now.
You're a liar, mate!
McCleary's never looked so happy to get out of a wrestling ring in his life.
The tension is palpable. You could cut it with a knife, but we are seconds away from beginning this matchup. And there we go. Paul Sayers shoots a double leg right off the bat, clobbering Marcus Kool with those body shots. Kool looking for the Kool attention. Super kick. Sayers ducks it. Spinebuster and back to that ground and pound offense.
Well, I don't think we're going to see a pretty wrestling match. This is going to be a Pier 6 brawl by the look of it.
And Sayers turfs Marcus Kool over the top rope, and he has a hard collision with that guardrail.
And that's cold steel.
This is the sort of fight Marcus Kool wanted, and this is the sort of fight Paul Sayers is going to bring to him. Oh, lower back to the ring apron.
Well, people talk about the mean streets of Mangere, but they don't know nothing if they haven't been in the streets of Birmingham after dark.
The Gracie dive from Paul Sayers wipes out Marcus Kool. Sayers is feeling it right now. Fired up.
Well, he also took out the front row of the audience when he drove that steel rail back into them.
They're brawling right. They're right in front of us.
Hello, people at home. How's it going? I'm going to kick his head off.
We've had the hooligan climb right over us. We've had Paul Sayers.
Can you hear me, Rusty?
Well, don't know about you, but I want danger money.
I was not expecting that. Paul Sayers and Marcus Kool taking this fight over every inch of the building here. Every seat of the house, one in the front row after that collision.
And this is a very physical encounter. These two gentlemen really taking it to each other.
High crossbody from Paul Sayers.
And that was spectacular, but he's got to take advantage of it. Wasting time talking to the crowd.
Well, it seems, for all the questions that Marcus Kool has raised in the build-up to this contest about the passion of Paul Sayers, Sayers certainly with his heart on display right here.
Well, Sayers is certainly angry. He's come out firing.
Kick to the midsection, doubles Kool over. Sayers in position. Oh! Paul Sayers looking for that major key, that flying cutter, and Marcus Kool just caught him with a super kick to the back of the head.
And look at Sayers' eyes. I don't think he's seeing anything at the moment other than stars.
Shots to the back of the head are so dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. They are banned in mixed martial arts competition, perfectly allowable under the rules of professional wrestling, and you can see, just looking at Paul Sayers, he can't get his feet under him. His equilibrium is out. That is a game changer if ever I've seen one.
Absolutely. This is the hooligans' opportunity now.
Oh, and now Marcus Kool goes to work with a penalty kick to the back.
And those feet of his are lethal weapons. His fists aren't too bad either.
Kool using that ground and pound, scrambling Sayers' brains on the canvas. And Paul Sayers, he looks out right here.
Well, this is just an average night for a football fan in Birmingham, I imagine.
Kool living up to his moniker of the hooligan in every sense of the word. Paul Sayers, though, look at the fighting spirit of this young man.
Well, it was a bit of a leisurely cover, I'd have to say.
Another kick to the spine there, rattling those vertebrae.
And this hooligan, he is one dangerous individual. Put the head down, though.
Oh, wow! Look at the elevation of that drop kick. Marcus Kool soars high into the sky and catches Sayers right in the face.
And clearly that's the hooligan's game plan. He's going to go for Paul Sayers' head, focusing on that.
And it seems very effective thus far. Paul Sayers looking in bad condition here.
Looks extremely groggy. And the referee will need to be keeping a very close eye on him with all those shots to the head. Clearly he would have to stop the match if he thought Sayers was concussed or in any way seriously injured.
We hate to see it happen, but of course our wrestler's safety, top priority of referee Danny Soul. One of the many reasons he's in there, officiating this contest.
And this time it's the back of Paul Sayers that is stinging. hard into those turnbuckles.
In the lead up to this contest, these two men have exchanged barbs on social media, and Marcus Kool has really questioned the passion that Paul Sayers has for professional wrestling, and he's putting Sayers to the test right here.
Well, Paul Sayers makes a big showing of how many fans he's got on Facebook.
German suplex for the hooligan.
Beautiful manoeuvre. And quite frankly, after something like that, doesn't matter if you've got 1,100 Facebook friends, because not one of them can make a difference now. And the hooligan still keeping up the verbal assault.
Equally as big a part of his strategy as any physical manoeuvres have been. Marcus Kool playing those mind games with Paul Sayers, really trying to get inside his head to exploit the cracks to any doubts Paul Sayers may have.
And he's just manhandling Sayers like a rag doll at the moment. Big open-handed slap there.
You've got to be careful chopping Paul Sayers like that, though. That might just fire him up more than anything. So Kool changes tactics, moves to the midsection.
Well, I imagine Sayers is going to fight back time and time again, but if he can't get any major offence in, he's in serious trouble. Only a matter of time.
You could hear that knife-edge chop echo around the building here. Marcus Kool just having his way with Paul Sayers at the moment.
Well, he said he would dominate this match. He said he would give Sayers a beating. He's doing exactly that.
And Paul Sayers blocks the shot from Marcus Kool.
Nice move by Sayers.
Turns the tables now with a series of body shots to Marcus Kool, and he is just chopping away with everything he's got.
Now that referee needs to be mindful of the fact that the hooligan is in the corner. Sayers just keeps coming back again and again.
Series of cross bodies in the corner, shoots off the ropes, ducks the clothesline from Marcus Kool. Oh, but Kool cuts him off with a back elbow.
Breaks the momentum there and then. That was a lifesaver for the hooligan, who was just starting to look like he was in trouble.
Kool now with the cover. Feels he's done enough to pick up the victory.
Didn't hook the leg though, David. I think if he'd hooked the leg, that would have been a guaranteed 1, 2, 3.
Of course, it was our last event back at UCW Invasion in February, where Marcus Kool challenged Kurt Chaos for the New Zealand Heavyweight Championship. Continuing his quest for gold here and faring somewhat better against Paul Sayers.
Well, I think there's a quantum difference between the mighty Kurt Chaos and Paul Sayers, the young snowflake.
And Paul Sayers has been hung up on those ropes after a collision with the ring post.
And then out onto that hard wooden floor.
Sayers wearing that shoulder brace, but Marcus Kool has all but torn that to shreds.
Well, this is good work by the hooligan, but he's also using it as a chance to catch his breath. He doesn't want to let Sayers recover for too long outside, though.
Nor does Marcus Kool want to see this match go to a count-out. The championship advantage means Paul Sayers will retain his title in the event of a disqualification or a count-out, no matter who the victor is.
Absolutely, David. That's the champion's advantage.
And Marcus Kool goes right back on the attack, sending Paul Sayers to collide with the opposite ring post in an equally effective maneuver.
And again, focusing on that shoulder, as you pointed out. If he could dislocate that, this is his opportunity to really put the screws on. And while Sayers has to struggle to try and climb back in the ring, the hooligan just can rest and recover.
And of course, when you damage a body part like a shoulder, not only does that help your case for trying to win the match, but it takes away the offense of your opponent. Paul Sayers, known for that major key, that flying cutter. And if his shoulder is dislocated, damaged in any way right now, that's going to severely impact his chances of connecting with that signature maneuver.
Absolutely. All part of the hooligan strategy, I am sure. Oh, right across the top rope.
Marcus Kool putting those educated feet to good use. Clubbing away at Paul Sayers now. And you can see the damage starting to show on Sayers' face, on Sayers' back. And I do not like the look of this, Rusty. What's Marcus Kool got in mind here?
Something painful, I am hoping. He's going to draw on his football experience, I imagine. It's a goal!
Marcus Kool with a kick straight to the back of the head of Paul Sayers.
Well, that looks like 1-0 to me.
And Sayers could be out right here.
He's not moving. Seems to be completely still. Only his breathing.
Look at him! Look at him! Look at him! He's done! He's done! Look at him! Done!
The hooligan looks like he's even trying to stop him from breathing at the moment.
And this is getting hard to watch, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Sayers really in a bad way.
Well, yeah, I did expect a bit more fight from the champion, to be honest. A little disappointed.
You're nothing, Paul!
A lovely forearm shot.
Every strike Marcus Kool throws is with absolute precision.
And Sayers really only trying to get himself up by using the hooligan as leverage.
The key point there is that Paul Sayers is still trying to get himself back up.
Well, maybe he's just too stupid to accept that he's lost.
He has not resigned himself to that reality just yet as Marcus Kool throws a headbutt.
And these are all wonderful techniques from his street fighting heyday.
And that's a disgusting technique, a spit in the face.
Well, it indicates that he really has no respect for Paul Sayers whatsoever.
And Paul Sayers now like a house on fire, swinging away with those hard right hands, those forearms, anything and everything he can muster.
Unbelievable comeback.
Kool ducks the forearm and Sayers spikes him down with a DDT.
Crucial thing was that the hooligan managed to rebound up onto his feet.
Big boot stomp from Paul Sayers now, he's feeling it.
Sayers still looks groggy though, he doesn't really seem to know quite where he is.
Oh, the idolizer, gutbuster. Drops him down on those ribs, cover.
2 3/4, 2 9/10.
As close as it gets without being a 3. Paul Sayers digging deep into his bag of tricks there, and putting out all the stops.
The hooligan digs even deeper on that conditioning to kick out. Incredibly physical, incredibly brutal matchup. I just can't believe that Sayers can even stand.
Sayers shaking those cobwebs, indicating he's wanting to head up top. Of course, Paul Sayers became UCW Light Heavyweight Champion in a triple threat ladder match at UCW Invasion, so he knows a thing or two about high risk and high reward.
High risk and high reward, but high cost if you fail. He's given the hooligan a lot of time to recover here. And pays for it.
But Sayers is not giving up just yet in a bad part of town, but he still brings the fight to Marcus Kool. These two are trading shots up on the top rope.
That's a very exposed position to be in.
Sayers doing his best to break free of Kool's grip. Digging deep.
Still not as much behind those shots.
And Marcus Kool, he's just biting him.
Well, that's Birmingham Street Fight 101. Absolutely legitimate there.
And a big headbutt now from Marcus Kool. Paul Sayers teetering on that top rope.
Would you say that was a Birmingham kiss?
Whatever you call it, disgusting tactic from Marcus Kool, scrambling the brains of Paul Sayers yet again. And the worst could be yet to come.
Well, I think if he lands this, Sayers is in deep trouble.
Superplex connects. Sayers dropped at centre ring.
It hasn't left the hooligan unscathed either.
Both of these men showing the wounds of war in this contest, and it just goes to show you how much that UCW Light Heavyweight Championship means.
And again, just the leisurely cover.
About all the energy Kool had to drape that arm over Paul Sayers, and Sayers rolls the opposite shoulder off the mat.
Well, I think if the hooligan again, he just didn't manage to hook the leg.
We are back to square one here, but both of these men look absolutely spent.
What's he gonna take, Paul? Huh? What have you got to prove, eh?
Just paintbrushing him there.
Marcus Kool growing increasingly frustrated. He's given Paul Sayers his best shots. Paul Sayers is kicked out each and every time.
No, we still haven't seen that Cool Intention super kick. That's what we started the evening with.
And Marcus Kool in position now, lining up a penalty kick. Sayers moves out of the way, rolled through. Super kick of his own. Oh, a Pele kick from Marcus Kool. Sayers with a super kick now. Kool catches him, spins him out, unprettier.
Quick thinking, fast moving. This time he's got the leg hooked in.
Barely, but Paul Sayers kicks out yet again.
Well, that was the one I thought would have counted. He had the leg hooked. Incredible effort by Sayers to kick out.
If Marcus Kool ever was questioning the passion, the heart of Paul Sayers, there is no doubt now. The UCW Light Heavyweight Championship means so much to Paul Sayers. He is putting everything on the line here tonight in its defence.
And he's been dominated in this match. The hooligan has...
Looking for the idolizer. Kool lands on his feet. Super kick counted. Kool looking for the unprettier. Sayers for a backdrop. No.
Incredible athleticism from both these men.
Oh, that's the major kick.
No, it cannot be.
He's done it.
That must have been instinct.
The UCW Light Heavyweight Champion, Paul Sayers.
A frantic closing stretch to that matchup, but at the end of the day, tomorrow morning, the headlines will read, Paul Sayers retains the UCW Light Heavyweight Championship against the hooligan Marcus Kool.
Indeed they will, David Dunn, indeed they will. Credit where credit is due, but that was an instinct move. And here comes his friend, Brook Duncan.
Of course, Brook Duncan, victorious earlier tonight, the number one contender to that title. Duncan and Sayers will meet for the belt.
Duncan looks like he's been at the buffet since his match.
And you can see the tension there between these two. They are friends, but with the title on the line, there can be only one winner.
Absolutely. Nothing gets in the way of a friendship more than a championship belt.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will see that matchup. Oh my goodness! Marcus Kool taking out his frustrations over that loss of the UCW Light Heavyweight Championship match, putting the boots to Brook Duncan.
Well, to be honest, if you were going to thump anybody, Brook Duncan would be one of my top choices.
Well, this is not a matchup. I mean, we have come to the end of our scheduled matches.
Brook Duncan's night's just about to get a lot worse.
Abraxas, the Southern Wrecking Crew, Tico, the members of Kool's team for bad company.
And this is very bad company for Brook Duncan to be keeping. He might not make it to bad company. That is a team that is going to be incredibly difficult to defeat. It's got power, it's got speed.
Well, wait a minute, Rusty. You want to talk about power? Look no further than this man, the powerhouse T-Rex, bringing his 5-man team to the ring. And it looks like we have got a standoff of epic proportions.
Well, this is one big face down. Maybe bad company's coming early. No question in my mind which team is the bigger and has the power advantage. You want to try and break them up, David?
No, sir. And oh my goodness, why wait until July 29? These 10 men are throwing down right here, right now.
Well, we saw UCW security earlier this evening. I don't see them venturing out this time.
Good luck to anyone who wants to get in between this ruckus.
The action spilling out of the ring. There's bodies everywhere. There goes that guardrail once again. In the midst of which the hooligan has ended up in the wrong place.
Marcus Kool surrounded. None of his teammates left in the ring to help him. Kool trying to make a run for it. El Falcone catches him.
For a moment there, I thought we were going to see a bit more of the hooligan than I really was comfortable with. Oh, and look at this.
And Marcus Kool makes a lucky escape, seconds away from that massive powerbomb from T-Rex.
I don't know about a lucky escape. Just goes to show it took 5 of them to gang up on the hooligan to set him up for it. July 29 is going to be something else, David.
Absolutely. 5-on-5. Massive tag team contest coming your way at UCW Bad Company.
That will be one not to miss.
Well, what a night of action it's been, ladies and gentlemen. UCW Live, I'm sure, has not disappointed. But tonight, at the end of the day, the powerhouse T-Rex and his 5-man team stands tall ahead of UCW Bad Company. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Dunn. On behalf of Rusty Blade, good night, everybody.